Hello, Year 8. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk you through your iMedia and computer science options. My name is Mr Bassett. I'm the head of ICT and computing at Morton and at Aldersley Schools. And hopefully today I can give you a little bit of information to help you make the choices for your options moving forward into Year 9. So at the moment we live in what's called the information age. You probably haven't heard that term before, but you're probably familiar with things like the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, that kind of thing. Well, we live in the information age, and that's how people in the future are going to think back about the year 2020 and things like that, 2021, 2025, whatever. We're going to be in the information age. So information is absolutely vital for society to kind of function and run. And no matter what you want to do or where you want to go, you will need computer science or ICT in some form or another. There is very, very few jobs where you're not going to be using a computer at all. And it's no coincidence that most of the world's richest people have made their fortunes in the IT sector. Okay, so it's a huge opportunity for you to make loads of money and a real difference as well to your future. Because we live in the information age, employers and universities are often looking for evidence that you can kind of keep up with that level. And computing and IT, really, alongside maths and English, is the two or the three sort of big areas of the curriculum that you need to excel in, really. Okay, it's in fact a mandatory, that means like essential topic that you have to study, a subject that you have to study at school at Key Stage 2 and 3. And it only sort of becomes optional, really, moving into Key Stage 4. Even if you're going to go and start your own business, computing is a real essential skill, because how are you going to promote your business nowadays? Well, it's going to be on the internet, isn't it, to get most of your business. And if you know how to create your own website, if you've got a good understanding about how search engines work and how Google works, it's going to really help you and save you a lot of money, because you won't have to pay anybody else to do it. You can do it yourself. So there's really two different qualifications that we will be able to offer you in computing, and they are very, very different. So it's important that you've got a good understanding about what each course involves. Depending on your strengths, you might want to pick one of them or both of them, or even neither of them. But I'd recommend that you take at least one of our computing courses. So the first one is computer science. Computer science is a very, very academic course, and what I mean by that is it's quite a traditional kind of structure. It's sort of like a maths or an English GCSE. Okay, it's very highly thought of. So when you're trying to get into college or university, the fact that you've done computer science will really make you stand out. And if you've succeeded and you've got a good grade in computer science, there can be no doubt really that you are, really real smart cookie, because it is a tough course. I'd say to you, really, if you're coming into computer science, you need two things, really. You need, first of all, an interest in the subject. Okay, you're not going to, enjoy it unless you're interested. Okay, so make sure that you've got an interest in computer science, and also you're going to need to have, quite a good level of maths as well, because the programming, and there's quite a bit of maths around how computers think and how computers use numbers, because they don't use the same number system that we use. They use something called binary and also hexadecimal. So there's three components of the computer science course that you're going to need to do to be successful. The first one is an exam. This is worth 50% of your overall grade, and it's basically around the principles of computer science. So it's things like how we might network computers together, cyber security, how computers work, how computers pass data around, how maybe they store information, so how they would store a video or an image, okay, compression, that kind of thing. The second one is the application of computational thinking, and that's really a problem solving exam. So that's where you're going to need to show your programming knowledge. That's where you're going to need to be able to break problems down into flowcharts and things like that, and just work things out and think things through. It's almost like a sort of logic puzzle exam, really, I suppose. Now those two together are everything that informs your grade. Okay, so really that's all that we would assess you on. But we do also do a programming project, which is about 20 hours of programming practice and programming skills, and by the end of it you're going to have a really nice Python program which will solve a certain problem, whatever the coursework might be, and it's graded from 9 to 1. Okay, so quite a difficult qualification, good fun though, and it will definitely challenge you, and it's one for people that want to go into computer science probably further down the line, got a bit of an interest in computing. The second course is very different. Okay, it's really different. I definitely wouldn't say computer science isn't fun, because it is fun and there's a lot of problem solving and things like that in there, but it's not very creative. Okay, the Imedia course though is very creative. So if you're the sort of person that enjoys their computer science lessons but doesn't really enjoy the programming side of things, you prefer PowerPoint, or Photoshop or whatever, that's going to be better suited to you, Imedia. Okay, and the other benefit to Imedia, which makes it a bit easier, well, quite a lot easier if I'm honest, is that you've got to do 4 units and only one of them is an exam. Okay, the rest of them are courseworks or controlled assessments that we do in class. Okay, almost like a project that you have to complete. So the exam is all around pre-production. So before we start making a movie or a radio play, or even a poster or a website or a game, what different skills would we need to know in order to make it a success? So we're looking at things like camera angles, we're looking at how you can do sort of good visualization diagrams, how you can write scripts, that kind of thing. And then you'd probably take that exam at the end of year 10. It's not a difficult exam, most people do really well on it. We have lots of practice, so make sure that you're ready for it when you go in. And then we start working on our controlled assessment units, our coursework units. So we do app design, where you make your own apps. We do digital graphics, which is all about image manipulation, so that's using Photoshop. We really take your skills quite a long way from where they are in year 8. So by the time you leave, you'll be really strong on Photoshop. And then the last one is a games design unit, when we come up with a proposal for our own game and we work our way through all the design materials that you would need to do. Now this one is graded slightly differently. It's graded distinction star, distinction, merit and pass. Okay, it is possible to still get a grade from this course if you don't get a pass, but it's something that we really try and avoid. So that's the only negative I would say to Imedia, is that if you feel like you're going to struggle to get probably a 4, okay, in computing, then it's a bit of a slog. Okay, it can be a bit difficult to kind of push yourself up past that. But as long as you think that your computing skills are at sort of GCSE grade 4, okay, or there will be at GCSE grade 4, and you can speak to your computer teacher about that and they will guide you to one course or another, then Imedia is a great choice for you. And what's nice about it is we can support you in class as well. Okay, so your teacher's always there to help you out and give you a few pointers on your courseworks. So 2 very different courses. Whichever one you think is going to be better for you, you can certainly speak to your computing teachers and get a bit of a steer on that one. So a little bit more detail. Okay, I can't go through the whole spec, but a little bit more detail on computer science. These are the sort of things that you're going to be learning: how a computer works and how to make it go faster, how all the different components kind of combine with each other. You probably heard things like overclocking, RAM, things like that. What's an SSD? How all those things would work together to make your computer run faster. We'd look at programming skills, so really working on Python, making sure that we're really strong on that. We look at cyber security, which is a massive industry at the moment. And then obviously computational and problem solving techniques, which will help you through all of your subjects, okay, and into the future as well. Employers really look for problem solvers, and having done computer science, you'll be very strong at that. Media, like I've said already, you're going to be learning about pre-production. Okay, so lots of planning out of different products and things. You're going to be learning about digital graphics, which is going to be Photoshop. We'll help you build your skills up on Photoshop so you can create some really nice coursework. You're going to be looking at app development and then also game design as well. So just to give you a little bit of an idea as to why I think it's so important that you do one of these 2 courses. Year upon year upon year, jobs in the computing sector are going up and up and up. Okay, massively up, and you can see that from the graph. Okay, that's not going to stop anytime soon. It's going to be increasing for years and years to come. And in fact, the computer games industry is bigger than the film and music industry combined. Okay, the single best-selling piece of media ever, okay, across any category ever, is a computer game. Okay, and that was GTA 5. So there's huge opportunities for growth in that. And in the same way, cybersecurity is one of the fastest growing sectors. Okay, being an ethical hacker and helping businesses to avoid hacks, okay, is another huge part of the industry, and that is going from strength to strength as well. So you wouldn't struggle at all to find employment, and well-paid employment, if you can get yourself qualified up in computer science and iMedia. So don't take my word for it. Okay, I need you to check out the OCR website, and you will find information on both of the courses that we offer. You can also speak to your computing teacher, so if that's Mr Sargent, Miss Kurt, Mr McCullough, whoever your computing teacher is, have a good chat with them, okay, and they will give you as much information as they possibly can to help you make the best decision, and maybe even guide you a little bit and say, yeah, your coding's pretty good, you could maybe do computer science, or maybe, I don't think you really enjoy coding, maybe creative iMedia might be better for you. And another one which I'd really recommend is if you've got a friend or a cousin or an older brother or sister that has taken iMedia or computer science, speak to them and see what they think, because you're signing up, aren't you, for 3 years really of 2 hours a week doing these subjects. So you want to make sure that whichever options you pick, it's something that's going to hold your interest and you think is going to benefit you. So the short version then, guys, is if you're motivated to succeed, okay, if you're creative, if you're open to learn new skills, because it is going to be very different to your year 7 and year 8 work, it's really kind of going to push you. And are you a problem solver, then you definitely want to be thinking about one of the courses that we offer.